Hello everyone, welcome back, and if you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you're one of our trusty long-term subscribers, don't forget to check that you still are subscribed. So lots happening this week. So we cut out some new windows and make door openings wider for our friends Dave and Julie. We make a big hole in the wall, in the kitchen wall, for Frankie off grid, but you'll have to see their video to see that. We do a bit more to our barn build here on the farm. I also set out and do some tiling over electric underfloor heating for our friends Tony and Nikki. And my favourite 3D laser level gets a lot of work this week, setting out a new garage and workshop for our friends Richard and Galia, and also setting out a new platform for a solar system and some containers for our friends Marius and Jeanette. So today's job is make this doorway bigger, and yeah, a bit of a strange one. I've cut all the way through the lintel there, as you can see, and I've broken out that end. It's just stuck there by these few blocks here. All good fun. It will be a nice view though. So this can go one of two ways. It'll either work perfectly or be a complete disaster. And that's perfect. Yeah? There we go. So I've got a big iron bar and a hammer and some other tools, and we're going to go off to Frankie off grid and make a big hole in their kitchen wall, which is this thick, so they can get a pipe through for some plumbing. And if you want to see what they're doing and what I'm doing there, tune into their channel. Okay, so we're carrying on with the block build, and I have a barrel full of muck here mixed up, and I've just started laying the blocks and then remembered on the two end by the door I'm going to knock a hole in the block, which I've done like so. Yeah, I'm drilling a hole in the concrete now with this 16mm SDS bit, 18mm, both sides, and then I'll put a piece of rebar in up to so height, yeah. So basically either side of the doorway will be a reinforced column, because obviously the doors, big doors, opening and blowing in the wind, slamming, etc. So just to make it a bit tougher. So there we go, that's 6 courses up here, and I've also gone all the way around, so I've got all the base blocks in now. They're obviously the most difficult ones to do. And done 6 courses on this end here, another 6 to go I think. Yeah, another 6 to go. And here I've left out a gap, because I'm going to build Max a little kennel inside here for the winter, because he will we've got a little bit more fencing to do, and then he'll eventually have the whole run of all this area right up to the gate. That's at night, and then we'll put him in one of the paddocks during the day. So yeah, he's going to have a little house inside here, inside the barn. Cool. Oh, and I've just been and fed Max, and while I was up there's a few ripe corn which are starting to dry out a bit, so picked a few of these, and I'll be popping these in the freezer, I've no doubt. Golden Bantam. Okay, so today I'm here with Tony and Nikki tiling some, well, I'm going to show you how to do floor tiling over the top of electric underfloor heating. Yeah, a bit technical, but first I have a gift for Tony. Sausages, bacon,
oh, yes.
and baked beans.
Oh, look at that!
So we might be having a fry up for dinner.
Unreal.
Okay, so to start off with, I've got the laser set up in the corner, and we've put a tile down with a bigger gap than what we would normally have between the tiles, but on the outside edge, because there's a skirting going there, so we've got a bigger gap. So I've set the laser up for the tile width on this end, and then all the way down here. Again, this one is set up to the tile width there. So we now have a straight line to lay the first row of tiles to, then all the rest are just spaced off that with these spacers here in the saucepan. So the other things we need are a tile cutter, yeah, because obviously we're going to have cuts, and for the cuts like around these columns here, we're going to use probably a handheld diamond disc, 4-inch disc on a DeWalt angle grinder there. Yeah, got a few other things like a hammer and obviously a notched trowel. Flooring, floor tiles should have big notches, 15mm notches these are, just because you need a lot of adhesive on the floor tiles. A pair of nips just for nibbling off if it doesn't break all the way along the diamond cut edge, and you can just nibble the bits off. And a sponge for cleaning up as you go. So that's most of it, and obviously packs of tiles. And I'll show you so underneath here, you can just make it out here, is the electric underfloor heating. Yeah. And we've come to the conclusion that the best way of fitting it would be to put it down. I'll show you now. So this is the electrical underfloor heating as is laid in the other room. But this, obviously now we're going to put a layer of self-leveling floor grout over this just to stick this down, because the reason being, if you see this, the tile adhesive is quite expensive, and if you stick this down with tile adhesive and then put your tiles on top, you can never get them really laid really well, or you can, but it takes ages. Much easier just to put these down with, these have been stuck down with silicone nut in places, stop them from floating, and then just put a little layer of self-leveling floor grout, or what they call latex, over the top of this, and then when that goes hard you have a finish like this. And then this is the easy stuff to tile on, and this room is, how big is this room? 6.5 meters by 3.5. So this room's 6.5 meters by 3.5, which is 20-ish square meters. So we should get that done today. But before we do anything, really importantly, before you start any job, you've got to have a cup of tea and a bit of cake. Okay, so as you can see, we've cut out for this column. And what I like to do on the first row of tiles, because we still want to see our pencil mark, so I like to put the adhesive on the tile on the first row. It just enables you to be able to see that pencil line. A bit shy there. And then we can lay that to the line. Like so, and so on and so forth. Again, keeping to these lines. And what we'll do now is a couple of spaces in here. So as you can see our line on the edge. Oh, hang on. Film it a bit better. You can see the line now on the edge of the tile, so we'll continue that all the way through to there, and then when we put the new tiles on, we're going to stagger them in a brick fashion, yeah, so this joint will be the middle of the next tile, and then all you need to do then is space off this way, two on each tile like that, and that will give that, and keep that line straight all the way across. Okay, so that's the first row of tiles in, a nice straight line, all cut around the columns. So now from now on, yeah, we just put the next one in, we mark, so we mark halfway on the tile, and that halfway goes on the joint. And then we put the adhesive now on the floor and work our way along. And I might even do 2 at a time. And then, yep, away we go. So there we go, it's a couple of hours later, lunchtime now, so it's nearly half the room done. It's 8 square meters, just over 8 square meters in 2 hours, so yep, all going well, nice and straight line still. Although some of the tiles are a little bit bent, but we can get over that. And by that I mean, I picked a straight one. Oh no. If you look down the edge of this, you'll see the bend in them. I don't know if that comes out on camera, but yeah. But still, we're getting there. And Tony is retesting the electric underfloor heating to test for resistance, and it's all failed. Yeah? 21, yay!
Good.
So the method of doing it by laying the electric underfloor heating and then putting a small skim of latex over the top of it is because, hang on. So the idea, I like to do it like this, is because generally you're kneeling down when you're laying tiles and your feet are behind you, and if you've got all these cables and stuff loose behind you, you're going to, there's a chance you could break them, or you're going to push them around, and when you come to lay a tile on top, it's stuck up in the air. So if you get them flat first, it's much easier to do the tiling. There's 2 hours work, alright? Probably 2 hours work, put the floor down as well, but tiling, the chance of breaking stuff is not good, so this is the way I do it. All complete. Unfortunately, I just have to lean in now. Whole room done. Tiny little patch here to do, which I forgot, to be perfectly honest. And a little tiny bit there, but I think the skirting board will cover that. So there you go. All done. Now, tomorrow, take all the spacers out, clean it all off, and then grout it. Quick note on the flooring, there is, apart from the little screed that's underneath this, and the 6 or 7 mil will be sat in, there's 100 mil of insulation underneath this as well, so that's really what makes your underfloor heating work. Nice job. So today we are at Richard and Galia's house in Portugal, and it's a lovely, lovely big granite building, which is in need of total renovation. So they're doing a new roof and everything. Richard has asked me here today to set out where the new garage is going. So I've got trusty laser here, and we're going to set out a line parallel to the house this way, and then we're going to mark out the distances where we need them over there. So there. So what we've done now is set this line parallel to the house. But what Richard's saying is he wants another metre. So you got a glimpse of that view as you could drive up into the car area basically. So what we've done is we've now established this line, and we've also established the fact that we want to maximise the view from here. So we're coming in we're coming in 1.5 meters, so that will be 5 metres from the house. So you'll have a nice big view of the Gardenia Mountains. So we're going to get our little laser friend out. I'll have to give it a name.
Green-eyed Bob. Or is it a red line?
It's a red, yeah. So here she is, and the receiver, and we'll set out the back line. I'll just explain that. So now we've established with the laser this line, the straight line this way, and it's now casting a beam 90 degrees that way, so we can find out where that goes over there. There we have it. That's the 4 corners set out. 1, 2, over here and here. It looks a bit odd to the shape of land we have, but once the building's built, it will be parallel to this one, so it will be in keeping. And then through the gap here, so between the edge of this building and the edge of the garage, you have a big gap, which you'll notice the views. So there we go. Job done. On to the next one. So I've just left the last place, and on the way I got a phone call from this guy, Marius, and Jeanette in the background there, sat on a new lounge. Yeah. Guess what? To mark out another base for a concrete pad. So I've got all the stuff with me. Perfect timing. So okay, so what we're going to do is Marius is going to bang this pin in here, and we're going to mark out 15 meters this way, 8 meters back that way, and we're going to use this little baby just to make sure everything is square. Grind hard.
Right, good.
Okay, so we've got the second point in. We've decided to come 14 meters instead of 15 because of the proximity of this tree here. So what I'll do is set up our machine here so we can cast an angle 90 degrees down that way to that way. And so we're going 14 meters by 8 meters. Big concrete slab by 150 mil thick, 6 inches thick. So as well as setting these out at 90 degrees to each other, I've also then banged these in to give a level. Yeah, so these pins up this end, at the top end, are about 200 mil above the ground level. The same that one over there, 200 mil to ground level. And we've banged them in so these tops are the same level each all the way around. So if we walk down towards the first pin we put in, this pin is that far out of the ground, about 600 mil, maybe a bit more, but all the tops of the pins are the same height. So if we took a level line across, that means the ground level here is rising about 400 mil. So if you want to build something flat, you have to take either 400 mil off of there to make the ground flat, or you add, just think of what we're going to do, add 200 mil concrete onto here and dig in 200 mil up there, so it's less digging, easy stuff. So Marius and Jeanette are hoping to build a beautiful big house here on this plateau or somewhere near there, with the views looking up to the Gardenia mountain again. So you can see here is Castellanovo, Alpedrinha's over here, Montleal and Val de Bezeres over that way. So here we go, bottling the plum wine. So I've taped this piece of tube to a stick, which I'm going to stop in there and push in there. I've left it a little bit off the bottom, so only the must that is settled in the bottom, we won't be sucking that up, and then we'll just basically create a vacuum, siphon it into bottles. So here we go. I've even brought my glamorous assistant.
I don't know about glamorous.
Didn't feel like it was the bottom. Ready?
Yeah. Next picture.
We have it. We have 5, 10, 15, 17, 18 litres maybe. So that's the first sort of rack off. That'll still be fermenting. That's why we've got the airlocks. And then we'll, again, next time we do something with these, we'll rack them off again. Just to try and make everything a bit clearer without any sediment in. And what's left in here will be, if you can see it, the plums that are left over now could be fed to the pigs and the chickens, so they can have a party by being drunk. So there we go, lunchtime, sausages, egg, bacon, beans, fried tomato and mushrooms with a view to match. Yes, Cindy, we know what you're doing. Eating apples. So we got this apple tree, the amazing apple tree, because
how it's surviving.
It should be dead. And Boris has come down to see the pigs as well.
No, that's my toes.
But yeah, they're all having fun with the windfall apples, aren't you? Yeah, scrumping. And we think Cindy is probably, I'd say I'm 80% sure she's pregnant. Which means we have some wild boar cross Kuni piglets coming in just in time for my birthday, August. Yes, 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 yes. You can't eat phone.
Boris is probably the best place to be at the moment. Yeah.
So just some of the produce we're getting daily. Angie's cutting up some of the sweet corn she's just been picking today. And
Sink full here.
Huh?
I've got a sink
Yeah,
full.
we've got a few here.
This is the second batch as well.
Second batch, that's lovely. Okay, so that's it from us for this week. Thanks for your likes. Thanks for your subscribes, and thank you for ringing that notification bell.
Ding ding.
And we hope you enjoyed that. It's very bright, it's very
Yes.
warm, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.